The following is a conversation between Matías De Stefano, referred to as me, and his higher self, referred to as I am. The subject is the emotional aspect of the third eye chakra in Libra, dated 14th of October 2020. Me. My life is practically a memory. Everything I've done, do, and will do is determined by my memories, by what I have remembered of existence. In a way, like everyone else, memory defines us. Personally, he does it very consciously. Sometimes when I look around me, the involuntary desire arises of having wanted to forget, like everyone else. Why does everyone forget and a few remember? I am. Why do some know math and others music? Me. What's your point? I am. Remembering is a gift, a capacity. Everyone can learn math if they study. Everyone can be a musician if they practice. Everyone can remember if they work hard. But only some are born with the ability awakened. Just as there are those who were born already being a musician or being a mathematician, others were born remembering. Just as some have the capacity for oratory and others the gift of silence. Just as some are entrepreneurs and others are artists. Each individual has a unique and different potential. Many remember like you, and each one remembers differently, just as each musician plays different songs, in different styles and different frequencies. Remembering is the gift of your soul. It is the tool you possess to be able to deliver your truth to the world. Me. Remembering is something that beyond memory brings me to understand that my destiny is to unite the parts. I am. To remember, from the Latin to return to the heart, to unite the parts. Your life is a constant of expression, which manifests itself by expanding your being, breaking it into thousands of pieces. From the origin of existence, the first wave that emerged from nothing generated an immense and expansive vibration, which changed speed as it advanced, creating different frequencies. Perceptions were born from the frequencies, which created energy, and from them they were grouped by resonance until creating forms, thousands of them, that through the waves of the sea of vibration were eroded, creating millions of grains of sand, the suns, the galaxies, the worlds. Expansion is entropy, separation, creation, art, chaos. The parts move away and mix with each other, like a puzzle of trillions of pieces. A day will come when, after so much experience, the initial pulse begins to call, by resonance, all its parts. This will lead to its parts responding in the same way, trying to start a path of reconnection, to find the other parts that put the puzzle together. Joining the parts, connecting them, begins to integrate the pieces, giving them meaning, discovering the invisible network that unites everything. And thus the logic begins to be seen, to be understood. This is called remembering. When you remember, what you do is access the infinite labyrinth of the mental library, where the data of each piece is stored in the form of books that you call memories. The memories accumulate information from the experience, and when you dare to open the books, you begin to see the correlation with the other books. Think then. Me. Now I understand why they called me librarian. The great library that I saw in my memories as gone was the mind of the universe, and we librarians were the neurons that ordered the memories. We were the rememberers. I am. This is why you said you were the rememberer. Put things in order. Instead, put together an index so that memoir readers can be guided in their searches and readings. Me. Could it be that my recent awakening of the will to read is linked to this? I am. You are passing the information at last. The books are opening. We are delivering the library index. And this finally gives you a break to sit down and enjoy reading. Me. I remember that I loved reading the memories of living beings. I felt their emotions, their stories and adventures, and I thought that one day I would like to be able to live the stories I read in those strange, luminous and spherical books. I am. And now you do. Don't you think it's wonderful to be able to remember that? You have already forgotten too much. Me. You always said that I only know less than 0.01%. I am. And so it is. The rest, forgotten. Me. What is oblivion? I am. To forget, which shares in English the word oblivion, is born from oblivici, composed of the words ob and livici, against and darken, respectively in Latin, being the Indo-European etymology lei, which means slippery, smooth, viscous. Oblivion is getting lost in the dark, slipping on the smooth and viscous limits of the wet rocks of a dark cave. It is interpreted then that forgetting is falling, getting lost, letting go, having nowhere to hold on. Me. The only way to find yourself is to get lost. I am. That's right. You've understood. If the universe has no goals, his great adventure is to write his stories, his books, to create as an artist and a writer. All the words capable of describing what is within himself, dreaming of living what he has expressed. Well, every writer, in a certain way, longs to be able to be a participant in his stories. The universe is that romantic writer who has been lost in the pages of his own memoirs. Well, getting lost in the beautiful details of the writing, in the gestures, in the movements, in the descriptions, is where he can feel part of it. It's not the great ideas that he is looking for. It's not understanding the outcome. It is enjoying, feeling with all his senses, each sip of tea that his characters drink, each caress, each landscape, each song that they hear and create. Smell each aroma that is described. That is why the cosmos is so detailed. That is why it marvels at the time of writing the minimalist. The most absurd details are sometimes those that give all the meaning to a story. The rememberer knows the beginning, the middle, and the end. He understands the argumentative line, and that takes away the focus of the beautiful details. Therefore, a good reader must get lost in the pages of books. I must enter the dark caverns and embark on the adventure and excitement of being able to fall on the next slimy rock. Me. Being a rememberer makes me live so much in the plot line of the story that I forget to live in the present. I refuse to live it because I know the outcome. It's like a constant spoiler that doesn't allow you to enjoy the movie. I am. That is why the universe chooses to forget, to live the present. When you lose the plot line, you have to pay more attention to the plot in order to understand, and so you fall in love with the character, with every gesture, movement, emotion that you would have missed otherwise. Me. Remembering and forgetting that are not antagonists in the fictionalized history of the universe, but rather they're both a fundamental part of reading comprehension. When one shows us the logic of the entire narrative, the other allows us to see the details and enjoy them. I am. This is why it is important to live in oblivion until we are able to enjoy the present, and only then can we see the past and the future, since both come from the here and now? Me. But I started to remember when I was very young. I didn't have time to understand the present. I lived too much in the past, all my childhood and adolescence, and in the future during my youth. I am. And now? Me. I have lived the present in the moments in which I have disconnected. When I did not feel you, when I did not hear my guides, those moments in which others told me you are disconnected, something that sounded judgmental in many cases. In fact, it was a relief for me. I felt relaxed that it was so, since I did not depend on anything from the past or the future. I could enjoy the present. However, it is true that it hurt me to have lost the plot of my life. I am, and you got it back when you were ready to remember. For remembering is an exercise of trying to join the parts that seem illogical to give them a logic. Thus, you forget to live, you remember to understand life. And you can forget again, launching yourself to enjoy something new. The goal is not for everyone to remember, it is for them to know how to remember. Living in the present implies knowing how to live disconnected from what has happened and what will happen, in order to feel in depth what is. Since the essence is only understood with what is, not with what has gone and what will be. The other times will come to sustain and give logic to what is. And every time you transform yourself, the same thing will happen. Me. I usually tell people not to expect to remember, not to force it, that the important thing is to concentrate on the now, and the answers will come as long as they are present in myself. I am, well, you are the center of the network of your memories, which gives them logic. Without a hub, there is nowhere to grab or download the data. You must become the character of your book in order to discover its history and manifest its future. The reader can only understand the plot towards the past. The writer can only manifest the plot towards the future. And the character is the present, who lives the plot. You must be all three, the trinity. And to do that, both must realize something, and both must connect something. Me. So then, I should not fear or deny forgetting, because it is what allows me to discover the potential of my present, as well as I should prepare myself to remember, to give it meaning. I am. Write your story, then read it, but above all, live it.